All right, Shalom. We want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Yahawah been a true name of the Heavenly Father. YAHAWASHI been a true name of his only begotten Son. We also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation unto the elect of Yasharahla, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And blessings and salutations unto the hopeful elect that I came out there and doing this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching in the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nation, but are of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. All right, I don't know exactly what the title of this lesson will be, but we're going to go into an article that I seen one of the brothers, the elder brothers, had posted. And you know, it's a nice little read. It's a long ass article, I'll be honest. But it's good information in here pertaining to them wanting to manage, as the word that they use, aka control, you know, the information that goes out there, you know, the information that gets out there, and pretty much really breaking or getting down to the point of the information that they want out there, I would say, you know, because this is something that was started during 2020, and we all know what was going on around that time in history, I would say. So go ahead, brother. You can get that.
This is from the website The Daily Skeptic, and the as dated of as December 18th of 2024. It says the new scientific priesthood wants complete control of what we are told.
Now, the scientific priesthood is what really caught my attention. You know, which once we get later down into the article, it'll explain the scientific priesthood, the name per se, dealing with that a little bit more. So go ahead and get that first paragraph.
This says, we are all familiar by now with the various efforts that are underway to govern what we are allowed to say and share online. But this is a much bigger problem than is commonly perceived. It goes far beyond the mere suppression of misinformation or disinformation, as misguided and dangerous as that effort is. What it represents is in fact a problematization of information as such.
Don't worry, that word got me too.
It says increasingly, those who govern us simply take the view that it would be better if we had the minimal necessary supply of curated information, carefully vetted by experts, in order that we should arrive the decisions they deem to be appropriate.
And that's exactly what happened during that time. You had the scientists who pretty much was telling us what was right and what was wrong, what should be out there and what shouldn't be out there. And a big part of that was them wanting you to get that jab, you know. As many people said, well, that was part of the information that I got out there, you know. Never in history have a antidote, I'll call it, been prepared and given that fast. Normally it go through a time period of getting tested and finalized to be safe for the public. All right, but within this, they was ready like that, you know. So a bunch of people had things to say about that, and this is just all part of that information that they would want to control, in a sense. All right, or we'll say manage, since that's the word that they use. Well, the information that they wanted to manage. All right, you go ahead, brother.
So we move into this next paragraph. It says the portmanteau infodemic is asinine.
And that word pretty much means a word blending the sounds and combining the meanings of two other words. So they pretty much took the word information and then pandemic and, you know, brought those words together. Go ahead.
He says, but effectively communicates the basic idea. While an epidemic is a sudden increase in the prevalence of a disease, an infodemic is a sudden increase in information about an epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
And as the generic definition goes, it is the same in almost all documents recording the subject produced by the WHO.
Yep, the World Health Organization.
It spreads between humans in a similar manner to an epidemic and makes it harder for people to find trustworthy sources and reliable guidance when they need it. This is purportedly a problem because during epidemics and crises, it is important to disseminate accurate information quickly so that people can take steps to protect themselves, their families, and communities against the infection.
Yeah, so it's important to get that information out there so everybody can take the proper precautions. All right, which is understandable, okay? But they're pretty much, well, go ahead, brother.
Says there can therefore be only one conclusion. Infodemics need to be managed.
There you go. That's what they want. They want to manage the information on certain demics, that just in case they flag that word, the certain demics that's out there, they want to manage the information that comes with it and come behind it. All right. I.e., I didn't go and get no dang jab, but I was perfectly fine. And I was around people who had the situation. All right. But you know what I did? I trusted in YAHAWASHI, man. Okay. I believed and had faith that he would cover me. And not saying that any brothers that, also believed and ended up getting it, that they didn't have faith. It was just of their lot, if anything. All right. But the most important part is that is not getting their antidote, okay? Because we don't know what the hell that was, where it came from for the most part. All right, all we know is something was going on in the world and they was just a little too prepared for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
It says, in a field of study, the aforementioned infodemiology must be devoted to discovering the best ways to manage them.
Yeah, so they pretty much made it a study to manage the information that comes with this. All right. Go ahead.
Moving to the next one, it says the result is not just suppression of speech through a censorship industrial complex, but a suppression of knowledge, a deliberate narrowing of our horizons in the interest of ensuring that a particular moral truth is revealed.
Mm-hmm.
This makes it more apt to analyze our era through the lens of political theology than any other conceptual framework. As I have argued before, we are governed more and more by a form of politics that has greater in common with the medieval pastorate than 19th or 20th century liberal democracy. A sort of atheist theocracy rooted in a claim to have sole possession of the knowledge, not of what is true or false so much as what is right or wrong.
Yeah, so not what is, and this is where it kind of gets into the form where it seems as if it's, more of a religious type thing. Like I said, going back to the title, calling it a priesthood, it's like, they're getting away from the Most High. They're getting away from the belief in God, because that's also what was going on in this situation, in this infodemic, is people wasn't turning to the jab. People was putting information out there on other ways to combat it. All right, i.e. Natural herbs, and just breaking down what that it was a respiratory infection, so to speak, and it came down to pretty much of how your immune system was, how your body is, and how your body could fight it for the most part. And that also goes with this society. They don't, here it is, you'll have where a demic is going on and I would say overall, nobody's prepared for it, because you don't push a healthy diet. All right, you push McDonald's, you push Burger King, Taco Bell, you push fast food, you push processed food. Here it is, there's information coming out how the USDA allows certain food, all right, this is fair use, all of this fair use, allows certain foods to be given and sold and consumed by Americans, all right, but some of those foods that's made and exported to other countries are exported without certain ingredients. All right, the ingredients you'll feed your own nation, you don't feed to the other people, because at the end of the day, to you, it's all about the dollar. Because if you feed it to us, you know we'll consume it. The red 40s and the yellow 5s and all of that shit on the back of the label and with the ingredients that's hard to pronounce. All right, but so you know we'll pay for it, but then you'll take some of those hazardous and harmful additives and preservatives and chemicals and ingredients to wrap it all up, take them out to sell it to other countries. So either way, it's a win-win for you. All right. So that was another thing to push back on. Natural remedies is the word I was looking for earlier. All right. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. I got introduced to elderberry during that situation, during 2020. Never heard about it, but trust me, it's my best friend to this day. Go ahead, bro.
This the next paragraph says the COVID-19 period.
Just in case, but
it says
the 19
period, the COVID-19 period. Remember that should be seen as a crucial turning point in this regard. The war against so-called malinformation. Malinformation had been being waged for some time before 2020, of course, but it took COVID-19 and the response to it for there to emerge an idea that there needed to be a globally coordinated strategy to manage information systematically.
Yeah, people was already pushing against, certain sicknesses and diseases. They was already pushing natural remedies. All right, but you got to think within this situation, this is a prelude. This is practice. This is a what word am I looking for?
A trial run.
A trial. Yeah, it's a trial run of what's to come. Because ultimately, what they really want to put in you and hope you accept, all right, is a tiny piece of technology. All right, that's what they want to put in you. The RFID, the microchip. That's what they want to put in you. Okay, so if you can scare the world and the whole world, this was a global situation, all right, you could scare the whole world into complying, all right, or most of the world to complying and getting something that, that they would feel to feel safe, security. Well, get that. Can you grab that in Thessalonians, I know we haven't brought any precepts out, it's like we're trying to get through these pages, but they'll be coming through the Spirit.
It's the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
And that's exactly what was going on. Is they was given that antidote as a sense of security, as a sense of peace of mind, all right, and safety. And people was taking it, at will. If y'all, y'all could just hop in if y'all hear anything, got any precepts, But that's what they was doing, taking it at will, and then, the sudden destruction, because this is going to apply to many situations, but the sudden destruction that was coming is all of these people was passing out. They was unalive, as the word was used around that time, and when they were checking corpses, they're finding how their blood is all coagulated, and it is, you know, it was abnormal, and most of it, majority of them was the people that had took that jab, man. Okay, but this is what they're telling us to trust in, and that's why that situation really opened up a lot of people's eyes who were dumb and they no longer was, and the people who were dumb, they got dumber. You pretty much picked a side. That's why where the term woke and all of that kind of stemmed up as well. Okay. But yep, go ahead, bro.
It says this was an international lawyer might recognize as something.
This was what an international.
It says this was what an international lawyer might recognize as something akin to Grosjean moment, a short phase of rapid change in which a new body of rules or norms develops and gains sudden and widespread acceptance.
And that's exactly what happened. What did it say? A short phase of rapid change. So now if it happens again, you know, you'll have more people for the most part that'll be, because it's just all part of the gradualism. But you'll have more people that will comply. Oh, we've been through this before. They might be frustrated, but they'll look at it as, once again, a sense of security. All right, but like I said, there are some people that woke up to the fact, like, yeah, this just ain't it. All right, so the fact that they want to manage infodemics, as they coined it, which is the spread of information dealing with a pandemic. All right, what's wrong? I thought we had freedom of speech. All right, I thought we had the ability to you know, say no, ability to believe and, you know, have our faith in our religion. Mm-hmm. All right, which they did allow some people. If you know, you say, hey, it's against my religion, you didn't have, it wasn't mandatory unless you wanted to do certain things, right? And then you had to have a mask on. You at the gym, you got a mask. You hooping, you got a mask. You swimming, you got a mask. No, but they pretty much wanted you to mask up for any and everything when you was out in the public, you know. And like a lot of people say, well, if you're getting the jab to protect you from getting it, why do I have to get it?
Yeah, you already got to do with me.
You already protected. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm you know, with a little shorty, all right, and I use protection, it's to stop, you know, anything from getting anywhere. You don't have to put your protection on and my protection as well. You know?
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is, Isaiah 29:20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. You know, and it's a thing of logic, like you're explaining, it's logic, and people was bringing that out during the time where the CVID was big. But if you said that you were ostracized, you were pointed out like, no, you're wrong. You're you know.
People was forcing you to be on the as an op. Mm-hmm. You know, but before then they didn't mind that you was choosing natural remedies. Mm-hmm. All right, to heal you and your loved ones, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Okay, but because the government, all right, because these scientists, all right, like you said, the scientific priesthood is what, you know, this author coined them. And then I looked it up. It's actually a book called dealing with that. So I'm gonna probably grab that, you know, just to throw more logs on the fire. But go ahead, bro, because we got some pages to get through.
It says, before 2020, the chattering classes across the West talked about quote-unquote fake news as though it was a problem.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it was. Like I said, misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, fake news, all of this stuff. Hey, I remember years ago jumping on AMTV's YouTube channel, you know, in a sense of an alternative media. Mm-hmm. All right, because the news, the CNN and BBCs and Fox, all of that, you can't trust that. You know, and more people started seeing that. That's why they're trying to come out with a way to manage all of that. All right, because if I need a group of people to do something, I don't need anybody to counteract what I need them to do. Okay, especially if it makes sense. Go ahead.
It says, after it, governments and international organizations began to collide together in earnest to find methods to establish control over how much and what information populations get to consume.
Yep, exactly.
Moving on to the next
Because
one.
this is when YouTube switched up their guidelines, you know, within that period. All right, and I ain't saying because it really hit big in March of 2020 and then just, you know, April, all of this. Like, no, over time, they like, what can we do? Because more and more information was coming out and it was just spreading. So they like, yo, we gotta check this, man. Okay? Especially these guys is making sense. And man, I wish I had that video where this chick was grilling Dr. Fauci, man. Like grilling this dude, you know, but now he's coming out. I forget exactly what he said, but he was, or what he denied rather. Oh, I didn't say that. I was saying this and then I didn't. Yeah, nah, I mean, you know what you said, and you know how you said it to imply what you wanted to be done, man. All right.
Like how like the medication didn't fight against the mutations.
Exactly. Yep, that's what it was. You know.
I found that video. Unless you want me to send it to you for posting.
Nah. They can find it.
Okay, come.
Fauci get grilled by Congresswoman or whoever she was.
Hey, and then all the real numbers have came out now as well.
Be.
You know, a few years down the line.
The next one
I was watching a video and it said that 4 billion people in the world took it.
Did it not come?
And out of that,
True.
somewhere between 7 to 15 million died. And then out of that, anywhere between 29 to 60 million were permanently disabled.
There you go.
And then you have another 500 to 900 million who got injured in some sort but recovered.
Getting beat up
You know?
by the jab.
Exactly.
Okay.
Standing 8 count.
I don't know why it didn't come through. All right, there, I grab it. That was that one. Yeah, okay. It says I'm gonna read this and then I'll let you get that one. It says for each and every person to know at any given moment, such as that they always act in a. Wait, did we read that one? Which was it? What was the last one you just read?
The CVID period.
That's what it started with. Man, that's what I'm saying. I was going through just going snap crazy. Okay. And what's the next one that you got?
This one.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll just whatever you got, we'll go.
So this says. So to be clear.
Oh, Salakia. Well, let me get this.
Okay.
And then, yep. Let me get this. Okay, yep. It says, but this is only true for scientists, or rather those in the scientific community. For most parts of the population, the document goes on being confronted with too much information does not necessarily have positive aspects. Unlike for scientists, those in the quote-unquote scientific community, when mere mortals get too much information, it makes it difficult for them to filter through it for what would be useful and relevant. And quote-unquote, too much information can also engender a feeling of disorientation, which may induce people to lose heart, lose the perception that they have any control over what happens to them, or paralyze them from action, quote. And the result is, quote, an inherent problem of too much good information, unquote. So what it's saying is, within this document, all right, this study of infodemics, this want which they actually training people and have, you know, things of that nature of people actually learning to control and, well, stop saying control, manage, all right, information getting out on pandemics. They're basically saying too much information on it is a bad thing because it can basically disrupt somebody's thought on how they feel about it. Well, you would think you would want to inform somebody the more so they can make the right choice according to what they want to do.
Exactly.
If I make some cookies and somebody has a peanut allergy, and I'm like, yeah, man, and I just give them some of the ingredients, but not all the ingredients, especially miss out the fact that it got peanuts in it.
Right.
Like, you think you would want to tell everybody the information, all the information, just in case somebody has a peanut allergy. I might know you have it and he has it, but I don't know he has it. So I'm going to let everybody know what's in it so we ain't got to sit here and have a whole rush to the hospital situation.
Yeah. Just not giving people a fair shake, you know.
So there we go. All right, go ahead.
This is in this paragraph it says, so to be clear, infodemic management, while obviously it includes an anti-disinformation component, is really about something else entirely. The control of information per se. The aim is not to just make sure that when people look for information, what they find is accurate. The aim is to make sure that people get the approved amount of information targeted in such a way that is quote unquote useful and relevant to them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. You're literally managing what information you're leaving stuff out, not telling everybody everything. Therefore, you could. Well, I had told you. You're not giving them the fine print, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
You got precept?
Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies.
Mm-hmm.
Ye are all physicians of no value.
There you go. And that's exactly what he was and they are. All right, here it is. The Lord gave us herbs of the earth, and he gave us things of the earth that grow out of the earth that help us. All right, fruits and vegetables that give us vitamin C, A, B, D, and all of that. But Esau wants to give us synthetic things and artificial things. And, here, let me extract the allicin out of garlic and put it in a pill form. Like, what the hell? Or like they do with the enriched wheat flour. They extract the vitamins and minerals out of the wheat and replace it with synthetic vitamins and minerals. Well, why, nigga? Like, that's why you are physicians of no value and forgers of lies.
Taking the seeds out of everything.
Yeah, taking the seed, yeah, and making it seem as if it's better. All right, but all you did was made predominantly the American people more lazy, so they like, well, I ain't gotta eat this grape and spit these seeds out. I ain't gotta eat this watermelon and spit these seeds out. I can just eat it. It's a form of greediness at the end of the day, to the point where you just it's a form of fast food shit. If you ask me,
Okay.
All right, you just cut it in, cut it and go. Grab Isaiah, I think it's 5:20.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yep, and they pretty much, everything good, they want to turn bad. Everything bad, they want to present it as if it's good, man. All right, that's why this place has to be judged. Okay, because somebody, man, y'all talking about information on pandemics, man, yes, like, because he's showing you his nature. If he'll do this with information, you don't think he'll do this with anything else? He's done it with history. All right, he do it with food. He do it with the air. He do it with his little training, his military trainings, and then all of a sudden, what they was training for, they actually in a real scenario.
Right.
This is the devil, man. All right. We'll probably skip some of them pages too. Man, it was so much good information in there. Oh, that's what that was. Okay, some of that was supposed to go with another portion of it. That's what it was. All right. Get the we'll kind of skip around a little bit. And I'll put the link to the article within the description box. Okay, so yep, we almost there. We getting down to the gritty. Grab the next one.
All right, so the next
Yep. Does it say the results of this is more?
one.
Okay.
So it says the result of this is more theological than it is scientific or political. A vision of a scientific priestly class with special spiritual insight into matters of right and wrong that transcends factual accuracy, dispensing its wisdom to the flock, and supported in doing so by a temporal power, the state, which opportunizes its advice and supports it with lavish funding and other privileges.
Yeah, so like this is why it's called it a scientific priesthood, because it's just like when you read about the priests, they was the mediator between the Most High and the people. All right, even to the point where if you feel your woman is doing something, you would let the priest know. And there was a what are the word I'm looking for? There was a process dealing with that. They would make a special thing, and if her thighs rotted, then she was committing that act of adultery. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, and if not, then there was a counter situation with that. All right, but they're getting insight from the Most High. That's who, it's not like the Lord wasn't dealing with everybody, all of the Israelites, but they was joined unto the Lord, man. Joined unto the Father. So they was the priesthood. So this is what their plan, all right, between the state and the ones who are in rulership over them, all right. Their plan as if they're the priests and the rest of the world is the flock. Okay, go ahead.
Since the members of the scientific community alone have the systematic tools to get what is really true, it is they who are placed in an exalted position, which the implication goes, it would be too dangerous for the hoi polloi to occupy.
Which means all of the people, the many or the people. So basically saying they need to be steered. They need to be directed. Go ahead.
So if I'm understanding correctly, this so-called scientific priesthood, like they're the ones who collect all the knowledge and then they give it to the government and the government give it to the people?
Well, they're pretty much the trusted ones in a sense. Just as if we offend the Lord, we take a sacrifice to the priest. They're like the mediator between the people and the ones who are in rulership, pretty much.
Okay.
The elite at the end of the day, but
that's exactly what I was going with. Kind of.
Yeah, whoever they answer to, pretty much. But that's what they're trying to make the people, because look, Moses went on the mount and brought the laws and the rules to us. You know what I'm saying? Versus everybody going to the mount and, like to know the Lord, he dealt with Moses and sent them down, just as if all of the scientists was they had their faces on the YouTubes and the TV screens and the news and the interviews, giving their insight on what the people should do based off science.
Right.
Not beliefs, not faith, not confidence, so to speak, but based off science, making it all science-based, science so-called, exactly.
I got that if you want it.
Well, go ahead.
It's 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. It says, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust,
Yeah, which is YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, this word. Go ahead.
Avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Yep, because it's nothing new under the sun. All right, just as you had people coming up against the word of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI via through their wisdom, their knowledge, all right, through their heretics, their beliefs, all right, their heresies. I mean, you know how they view something, and that's why you got to stand on something. I had a situation where I was dealing with somebody at work, and you know, communication. You know, you learn that throughout the scriptures is very important. So I'm trying to tell him about communicating, and we had just got out of reading Romans 12, and it speaks about rendering evil for evil, and if all possible, be at peace with all men. So a lot of that was fresh on my mind, and a couple other co-workers got into it with the same guy, and they wanted me to retaliate and get vengeance, you know, and pretty much cuss him out like they did, and I'm like, I'm not on that, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, trusting in his word and doing the right thing, today it was the most he's ever communicated with me. You know, I didn't have to retaliate. They like, man, just mix up the labels so he don't know I'm like, no, I'm not about to do all of that. I'm like, you know, the Lord, it's all in the Lord's hands, man. You know, it's all in the Lord's hands. So just as you had people coming against the word then, you're going to have people coming against the word now. Because at the end of the day, them coming up against information is just truth, if it's true. You know, because truth is truth, as the scriptures say. Mm-hmm. All right? If somebody can get that, you know, truth is above all. And so it's not just them, trying to manage it and get their agenda off, but this is part of their NWO. This is part of the image of the beast, because it's going to be what they will want it to be, a part of their new way of life, man, that they're trying to create, their new system that they're trying to create, so to speak. All right, well, you're believing and trusting in them and their technology and their AI. That's why AI is getting so big at this point. Okay, somebody got it?
This is 1 Ezra chapter 4 verse 37. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them, and their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for truth, it endureth and is always strong, it liveth and conquereth forevermore. Let me jump down to verse 41. It says, and with that he held his peace, and all the people then shouted and said, great is truth and mighty above all things.
And there you go. Great is truth and mighty above all things. Because if you read within here, you will see why he said what he said and what was going on, because they was pretty much trying to see what was the wisest sentence. What was the wisest? Who, you know, was it women? Was it wine? Was it the king? All right. So at the end of the day, like you said, truth is above all in a roundabout way. All right, so people bringing out information, whether they saying you can get this and get that to protect you from this pandemic that was going on, it's truth. All right, it's truth as long as it's of the earth, and it's you know, and YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI created it to combat these infections and diseases. If fucking heathen can come out and say it, and guess what? It's true. All right, go to the one. Become very interesting because it says, and it also seems to confirm the views.
It says, and it also seems to confirm the views of those who have warned us that we risk falling prey to the veneration of technology itself as a spiritual phenomenon. As anybody with a brain could foresee, infodemiologists have become very interested in AI because the development of AI fits the project of infodemic management like a glove. It is the perfect systematic tool, not only for analyzing evidence, but also for disseminating useful and relevant information in a bespoke way and in real time. And so it is that early in 2021, the HWO, who already developing an AI tool to carry out so-called social listening, so as to help identify rising narratives that are catching people's attention in online conversations, in order to help health authorities better understand what information people are seeking so they can meet that need.
Yeah, like I said, that's why, like I said, AI getting more involved with that. They had a artificial intelligent priest where people giving confessions to, and he's giving them advice. They got the chat bots and chat. They had a guy who offed himself, man, talking about he's about to go be with the damn chat bot. All right, so it's showing you how AI is getting more involved. So let alone putting it within the algorithm of seeing who's saying what on what video, who's typing what, and keeping track of all of the so-called mis and disinformation that was going out there. All right, like I said, this is just a way to manage it because they don't want the spread of that information against the demics going out there. Okay, so they're doing what they can and have classes teaching people and helping people to pretty much come on board and help them stop it from getting out there as much. Okay, and as you know, reading within this article, they're saying that was the start of it pretty much. Because now, like I said, YouTube changed their guidelines. Facebook, you know, changed their guidelines. All right, because you got a lot of, and it really goes back even a little bit before that with the hate speech. All right, because when you could get penalized and for you know, saying something about the alphabet community or some, you know, so-called racist comment or something like that. So that was, you know, even then they're starting to control what you're saying, what you can say. They ain't gonna just wake up one morning like, hey, you can't say that no more. No, it's gonna be a gradualism towards that. All right, to the point where when it gets so-called too out of hand, it's like, okay, we got to shut everything down. All right. Yep, that should be the last one.
This naturally says this naturally comes with an awkward and glib acronym, EARS, which is the Early AI Supported Response with Social Listening Tool. And its promise, although it is not spelled out in quite so many words, is clear. That soon enough, technology will enable public health authorities to be able to predict in real time what information people will seek and provide it to them in a useful and relevant way without them having to look for it at all. This is almost a perfect vehicle for producing an understanding of moral truth in society, because it preempts deliberation and fact-based truth-seeking on the part of the population, conceived not as autonomous agents, but as receptacles of approved wisdom.
Yep, go ahead.
AI will thus provide insights permitting the authorities in questions both to discern moral truth and ensure that it is transmitted in advance, even of the population knowing that they need it.
And that's why when you Google something, it gives the AI overview before it gives any other web pages. So they're pretty much saying this, and which is their artificial intelligence, what they deem to be right and what they've created with their quote unquote scientific communities. All right, go ahead.
And it therefore will become a sort of automated truth production device, a technological oracle capable of generating not just material but moral insight.
Yeah, and they show you within these movies, they always create these AI technologies, whether it's a damn jet, a robot, a machine that controls other robots, and what always happens? Something happens to that technology to where it ends up getting corrupted, and it does the opposite of what it was created to do.
Yeah.
But you're telling us you want us. This is their plan. Right? This is part of their NWO. They want you. It ain't gonna be no God in their eyes. They're gonna be God.
Yeah.
The science community will be the priests. The AI will be the Urim and the Thummim.
Yeah.
That'll be their spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what they're trying to create, man. Okay.
Hey, that's just like we did the lesson last week with the Roman Catholic Church, and what they're trying to do is basically have all the other different religions agree. You know what I'm saying, to have basically the AI govern the world by their principles, by their what's the word?
Ethics.
Yeah, by their ethics. But whose ethics is it gonna go off of? Because it's not gonna go off the scriptures.
Exactly.
You know, it's gonna go off of Esau's ethics.
And what now? Can we get all nations shall flow to the mountain? What's that? Isaiah 13. Who? 2?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 2. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it."
Yep, this is going to happen. All of this stuff that they doing, they want to happen, but the Lord's not going to let them fulfill their enterprise. But there is going to come a time, like you said, they want all these religions to trust in this AI. All right, off the AI, was the AI ethics?
Yep,
you
AI
know,
ethics.
Well, nah, it ain't gonna be that. Everybody's gonna trust in our ethics, our laws, our statutes, our commandments, our morals. All right, because that's what's coming next. That's what's gonna govern the world. All right. Oh, you ain't keeping the Shabbat, boy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get slapped up. You know. To this society, the Shabbat is whatever. It's Sunday, every Sunday. You know, then to some communities, it's every Friday to Saturday sundown. Like, no, we gonna be going back and going off of the moon. All right, that's what's gonna determine a month, man. That's why I said that we're rehearsing our righteous acts. Okay, the righteous acts. You know.
Precept.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Psalm 17 and verse 13. "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
Yep, and that's down. Now we getting to the point where what? We got to trust in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Okay? Our job is to teach the truth of the scriptures through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and we're going to do it as long as the Lord allow it, because there has to be a famine of the word, and this is part of it. You know, this ain't just going to come with information on pandemics. This is going to come with speech, period. Any mis or disinformation. All right.
It says, "From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life."
Which is Esau, the Edomites. All right. Their blessing was the sword, and they're the sword of the Lord at this point, because those are the ones who go about doing whatever they want to do. All right. Throughout the world. And those are the ones who had their foot upon our necks, man. All right.
And whose belly
Salaki, and I'm just saying in the sense of us not knowing who we was, us being in that dead estate, but the Lord has quickened us. All right, so we're coming up now. We, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you watch wrestling, you know they do that one, that arm hit the ground, 2 hit the mat, and then it's about to that third one, and they start shaking that arm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what us being quickened, man. You know, the match ain't over. All right, now we get up. We got all the adrenaline. They throw us into the ropes. We come back. We reverse they move, Rey Mysterio style, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Now to set them up for the, now we setting them up for our special move. We going to hit them with the frog splash. You feel me? So this is what's going on through the spirit, man. All right, the Lord is lifting us up, man, in the place where it was said we wasn't a people. We knowing that we the sons of the living power. All right. Is there more to that?
Yeah. It says,
and we'll get that and close out.
From men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Yeah, this is their dominion at this point. That's why they have their so-called white supremacy. That's why they're doing good and they're living it up. And that's also why the scriptures say, envy not the wicked or the oppressors. All right, so they can have all of this. Y'all can have this dirty ass air, this tainted ass water, this fake ass food, dealing with the women with fake booties and boobs, And you got everything, and nothing's real here. Nothing's authentic, man. I don't want to buy a watermelon that look like it's made out of rubber bands.
America's a fantasy land, man.
Like, that's just crazy. But people, they love it here because you're what do it say? When you was at free, you loathe the law. When you had liberty. Yep. Yet when you had liberty, people have liberty in this society. All right, predominantly in America. Okay. Go ahead, bro. Grab that.
It's Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?
Yep. And this is, this is speaking about the Israelites, but it's also pertaining to the Edomites as well. Okay? Because, hey, when you go to Isaiah 47, it says he's going to lift up their skirt and going to reveal them. And that's what's going on. That's why they want to manage the information that's coming out about the pandemics. Okay?
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Yep. So at the end of the day, you're doing the will of the Heavenly Father. We're doing the will of the Heavenly Father. Everybody's doing the will of the Heavenly Father through the Spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. That's just what it is, man. Okay? And now we just every day and every year, every New Year's Eve of destruction, just closer and closer to the salvation of the elect of Yashala. Alright? Like, bros got to the point where they like, hey, if we here again, if we still here, then, we'll be back. We'll do another one. But that's because we trust in our power. We trust that he's gonna that he's not gonna count slackness, man. Alright? We know that. We believe in that. Alright? So with that, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure into the end. And once again, we want to give all praises
unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again, and blessing and salutation unto the elect as well as the hopefully elect. Hey, shalom.
Shalom.